Hey guys, so today I'm wanting something that is quick, easy, and delicious, so that is why I'm making General Tso's chicken. Perfect for any day. It takes about 30 minutes to make and is so amazing. So if that sounds good to you, stay tuned. Welcome to my kitchen and let's see what I am cooking. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a bone-in skin-on chicken breast and we're going to take the skin off, but don't worry about there being any waste because we will use the skin and the bones in a different recipe. So essentially you just pull the skin off. One side of the skin will be looser than another and it should just fly right off. And then for the chicken we're going to go right there along the bone and we're going to cut about 3/4 of the way down. And then what we are going to do is we are going to fold the chicken just like so. I'll show you again. So literally fold it so the flap is going to the other side of the bone. And we are just going to continue cutting around the bone until the bone is fully out. And then at this point what you want to do is you want to feel around for any tough chicken part. Sometimes there can be a really tough part that you can't really eat, so you have to remove that, and sometimes some bones might be left in. And you can even, like right here, you can see this part right here. That's technically bone. If you want your butcher to do this for you, you can definitely ask them to do that, and they would be more than happy to help with that. And you can even get the skin and the bones to take home if you're wanting to try out a bonus recipe that I'll have for this episode at the very end. And then just continue chopping your chicken into about 1 inch by 1 inch pieces until they are all done. And just as a reference for how many chicken thighs I'm using about 8 chicken thighs. That should get me enough for this recipe. And I will be doing sides, but off camera. And another helpful hint, so for the chicken bones, you can make broth using them. So if you're not going to make broth right away, what you can do is you can set this in a Ziploc container, like whether it's a plastic one or a freezer-safe glass one. Or you can do a plastic bag, up to you, and you can just freeze your bones so that you have them for when you're ready to make your broth. And just a teaser for the chicken skins, things are gonna get crispy. And now that our chicken is done, I'm just gonna lay it in an even layer and set it off to the side so we can prepare our sauce that will go with this chicken. And of course, save your chicken skins for later and your bones for broth. So to start our sauce, I am gonna add in 1 tablespoon of hoisin sauce into a measuring cup. Sorry, forgot to pull you in closer, but you can see here I have roughly a tablespoon. And then we're going to do 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, or just shy of 1/4 of a cup, and just a small squirt of sriracha. I just do 1/2 teaspoon usually. And then we are going to do 3 tablespoons of brown sugar and about 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. And now just take a look to see where your line is. Mine is at 1/2 cup, so I am going to do roughly 1 up to the 1 1/4 cups of chicken broth and 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour. Now give it a nice little mix to combine everything. And this is going to be our sauce and our marinade, so you will need to get a plastic bag and set your chicken and this sauce into it and let it marinate for a couple hours. The helpful thing about thin plastic cutting boards is you can easily slide it into your bag. And now in goes your marinade and sauce, and just seal this and put it in your fridge for about 2 hours. You can do as little as 2 hours, or you can even do up to overnight if you wanted to. And don't forget to squeeze all that air out, just so it sits nice and flat like so, and away it goes. And now just to be efficient, I am just going to add in 2 tablespoons of oil and get started on the stir fry. So aside from the ginger or stir fry sauce, I am going to grate 1 teaspoon of ginger into a bowl, and that will be saved for later. And you want 1 teaspoon of garlic also in this bowl. And then in here you want a bit more. I'm just going to go about 1.5 teaspoons, just because ginger can be powerful. And a really helpful hint is you can freeze your ginger in knobs, just in large, like, finger-sized knobs. And you can freeze it and then just grate it into any dish and you have, like, ginger all the time and you can get it on a good deal. Usually, I think around this time of year, but I could be wrong about that. And of course, for the garlic, I love garlic more than ginger, so I am actually going to do 1 tablespoon of garlic in with the oil and ginger, and 1 tablespoon in with my soon-to-be chicken spices. To be clear, these ginger and garlic chicken spices don't go in just yet. They go in later when we start cooking. And then again, I don't like a lot of spice, so I'll do half a teaspoon of sriracha, but you can do up to a teaspoon. And also right now I am setting half a cup of flour to the side so that I can brown my chicken using that later. And now it is time to get cooking since our chicken's finished marinating. And very important, you're going to take the chicken out of the sauce, but you are going to keep the sauce because we will use it in this recipe, so nothing goes to waste. So simply let's get our oil heating up. And while that heats up, I am going to take a slotted spoon like this, and I am going to put my chicken into my flour, which I laid flat on a plate. So kind of get a chicken piece per area. And we will mix that up here in a second after we have all our chicken out. And again, we're keeping this for sure to use in our cooking. And now let's mix up our chicken in all our flour. This will help give it a nice little crispy bite as we cook it in our oil. So for reference, I coated the chicken in about 2 cups of flour, just some all-purpose. And now just a helpful hint to determine how hot your oil is. You want to put your hand over, but not on the pan. You want it about at least 4 inches above. And when you can feel it being warm, that is ideally like really warm, where it warms up your hand. That's generally when you want to put this in. And we're going to add all our flour in there too. We're not going to waste that. Now just lay it all flat in the pan. You can hear that nice sizzle, so I know that I definitely heated it up enough, because that's always a good sign. So we're just going to lay these all flat out. And then the trick to this is we're going to let this sit for 5 minutes without touching it, because we want it to get a nice brown on the bottoms of all these chickens. And also, because I know I forget to mention this is pretty much on a medium-high heat is what you want it to be on, just so it can get to work browning that chicken nicely. But if you need to, you can always turn it down and just cook it for longer if you want to be a bit more, not really safe, but a bit more comfortable. And another helpful hint, if you feel like your oil is getting too hot or too low, you can always just add some more oil like this, and that's perfectly fine too. It'll help cool down the other oil and also give you more fat to work with. And now that it's been 5 minutes, I am just going to start by flipping one over. It looks like they're all nice and golden, so I am just going to start flipping this over and letting it cook on the other side. Now it does look like this needs a bit more oil, so I'm going to drizzle that in now, just so it has enough oil to crispen up. And the other thing I should point out is that you want to do a canola oil or a vegetable oil here as opposed to like an olive oil, because the olive oil will burn. Now that the chicken's cooked through, this is very important for food safety. I am not going to use this one anymore, but I'm going to find another one to deal with this cooked chicken just so I don't cross-contaminate. And that is where this guy comes in. And now that we're about a minute from finishing this chicken, I am just going to add in some garlic and ginger that I pre-prepared the other day. And I am just going to stir that in so it starts cooking out for about a minute, just so that we don't have any raw garlic or ginger in there. And after about a minute, I am going to add in this sauce that we saved, and also the rest of this sauce, our stir-fry sauce that we made also. So just plain and simply, in it goes. Give this a quick little stir about, and in it goes. Clean up my station here, and now we're just going to let this sauce thicken a little bit, and once it's thickened, we're going to take it off the heat, and it'll be ready to eat. And then this is optional, but I have this sea lettuce, and I prepared some rice and some broccoli, and I'm just going to add a little bit of that sea lettuce over top to kind of get more nutrients into me. And now let me get a nice shot for you. And now I'm going to try the main dish, which is the General Tso's chicken. So I am going to get a nice good piece here, and I'll give it a try out for you and let you know how it is. I'll be honest as I usually am. So let's try. So the best way to describe my General Tso's chicken, it is nutty and delicious, so much flavor. Plus, after you're done marinating all of the chicken, it literally takes like 20 minutes to make, and if you have your sides ready, that's even better because it'll take even less time to prepare everything. I really have no bad thing to say about this. The only thing I would do differently, which because I'm more efficient in the kitchen, is I would do smaller batches of chicken just so everything gets a better brown on that. But other than that, I think this is perfect. You still get a nice crisp every now and then, and I absolutely love this. So if that sounds good to you, stay tuned, welcome to my kitchen, and let's see what I am cooking next. A banana. But wait, there's more. If you have made it this far into my General Tso's chicken video, thank you so much. That means the world to me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you made it this far, I promised you a bonus recipe. It is very quick, very easy, and it is all done in the air fryer, so let's get started. So in this episode, if you missed it, I told you to save your chicken skins and your bones. The bones will be for broth, and the chicken skins, here's what we're gonna do with them. So simply, I am gonna flatten the chicken out like that, and in my air fryer, I am just gonna lie them flat with the skin side facing up. Very important there. And then we are gonna flavor these with some flavoring. I'll show you a few different combinations you can do, from the simple to the more advanced. So now that we've gotten them all laid out flat and in a single layer in our air fryer, some of them I am just going to do simple, just by seasoning with some salt and pepper. And then others I am going to do salt and pepper all over them, just a very small amount. So for the fourth of these, I am simply going to do some oregano, some cumin, just a little bit, you don't need a lot, and some chili powder. Simple as that. And next I am going to do a rosemary, garlic, and onion powder one with a bit of paprika on it, just to kind of switch things up here. And for our last one, I am simply going to take some of this Cholula taco seasoning. This stuff is quite hot, so don't use a lot of it unless you like a really spicy kick, but I don't, so I am just going to do a very small amount on mine. And now simply to cook these, we are gonna get our air fryer going, and we're gonna set this in, and we're gonna cook these at 400 for 12 to 15 minutes until nice and crispy. And also be sure to check on your chicken skins every now and then to make sure they're just getting along nicely and not too overcooked. And now that these are done, you need to let them sit for about 5 minutes so that they can finish crisping up. It's a very important step of the process. Now once these are done, you can definitely hear a crisp. Let me get it up to my mic here, which is right there. Did you hear that? Very crispy. I'm gonna take a taste test now. And now let's try the salt and pepper one. And that is how simple they are to make. They are so good, so delicious. They're like similar to a potato chip flavor while still being chicken, so I absolutely love that. And that was your bonus for this episode because you stayed for so long. Thank you so much again, and I will see you next time. A banana.